Okay guys, so honestly, one thing I will say is that everyone has wet the bed before. Like seriously, if you told me you never wet the bed before, there is no way you went through a normal childhood. But I remember back when I was in high school, there was a moment where, let's just say, someone wetted the bed that was very unexpected. And this time, it wasn't me. But before the story starts, make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Seriously, it means a lot when you guys do, and on top of that, I seriously enjoy it when you guys enjoy these videos. Also, not to mention, I usually go live on Kick, streaming and also talking to you guys, telling crazy stories just like this one. So also follow my Kick page if you haven't already on kick.com/Bubba. Anyways, let's get straight into this crazy story. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba and welcome to, well, the story called She Wet the Bed. The story starts off back when I was actually, funny enough, in high school. And back when I was in high school, as you guys may know, I always used to do the Devil's Tango. And from this, you guys would know that I have a lot of sneaky links. If you guys don't know what sneaky links are, basically they're people that come over to your place or you go over to theirs and do the Devil's Tango. Kind of like a booty call. And I remember that me and one of my sneaky links always, and I mean always, used to talk about, you know, doing the Devil's Tango. And we would do it, but always during the day. Now me, during the day, I am always super busy. I have school, I have life, I have a job. You know, I don't have time to always go out and do the Devil's Tango. But I remember one time on the weekend, I told her, hey, like, why don't we like do it during the weekend? You know what I mean? Like, just stay over at my place for the night. And she said no. I have no idea why she kept saying no. It made it seem like she had a secret that she was not telling me. And God, I was hoping that it wasn't a, you know, secret boyfriend or anything. But going on, I remember throughout the day, I remember seeing her at school one time and I decided to walk up to her. And I kind of like dragged her away from her friends and asked her the question of, hey, like, why don't we just do it at my place this weekend? What's the problem? She ended up saying, oh, like, I don't know, like, I just can't, like, I don't know. Well, what will I tell my parents? That you're going to a sleepover is what I told her. And then she started freaking out even more saying, okay, well, like, I don't know. At that point, I asked her seriously. I said, listen, if you don't want to see me anymore and, you know, you don't want to be friends with benefits anymore, it's fine. I really don't mind. But then she instantly stopped me middle of sentence and told me, okay, you know what? Fine. I'm in. Let's do it this weekend. Okay, cool, is what I said. And be walking away, you know, basically happy about me getting my victory W. But at the same time, I could tell in her face that she was definitely hiding something. And that's something I wish I knew earlier. I remember the weekend came around and I remember after I finished my shift at work, she ended up coming over. She came over and I remember when she came over, she was kind of panicking, but at the same time, she was in her pajamas and we went straight to my bedroom. We went to my bedroom and no parents were home, luckily, because my parents went out on vacation, which they did a lot of, to be honest. And I remember when me and her we're just kind of chilling, just relaxing, me and her decided to go straight to my room and start watching a movie. Because what else could make the vibe better than a movie? I remember as me and her were basically sitting down watching a movie, we basically started making out and we did the Devil's Tango. And me thinking, you know, oh, I'm getting tired now, I should probably sleep because the movie, you know, made me exhausted, and to be honest, so did all the Devil's Tango. I thought it would be a good idea to just start passing out. But she had different plans. Apparently, every time I said, oh, like, we should head to bed, she just wouldn't want to go to sleep. She would say, oh, like, let's watch another movie. Or for example, she would say the occasional, oh, but like, I'm not done with you yet. And we keep going on and on and on to the point where I'm not even joking, I was exhausted. I was more worked out than a construction worker on like a 12-hour day. I just wanted to relax and sleep. So I remember I decided to tell her, okay, no, that's enough movies. I'm just gonna lay down and pass out. And then I remember she was like, oh, okay, I guess you can do that. And then I remember I laid down, I started to go to sleep, but the weird part was that she wasn't sleeping. She kept staring at me as I slept. And to be honest, she stared at me for longer than I want to say 2 hours. It was super weird and honestly really embarrassing. Like, who watches a person sleep? It got super creepy to the point where I asked her, okay, something's bugging you. What's going on? Just be honest with me. She ended up looking at me saying, oh, okay, well, like, so like, listen, I can explain. I have this like basic condition? You have a condition is what I said. And in my mind, when she said that, I thought she needed one of those like breathing tubes to sleep, which wouldn't make sense because she would just bring it on her own. But then she ended up telling me, no, like I have like a small bladder. So like I kind of like, you know what? Just don't worry about it. When she said small bladder, to be honest, I didn't really connect the dots. I kind of just was too exhausted. And to be honest, my brain wasn't functioning at its full volume. So I remember I just said, okay, just pass out. And I know she was also exhausted as well. So she decided to say, okay, I guess. And right as she laid down and closed her eyes, she passed out. And so did I. I remember the night, you know, was going on basically. And I remember me and her were sleeping until I ended up kind of just waking up out of nowhere. And the reason I woke up is because my hand felt like it was getting wet. I started feeling the bed and I started feeling how, you know, almost my entire body's soaked. I have no idea what happened and I started freaking out thinking, what is going on? Like, did something like drip? Is my house flooding? So I remember I ended up getting my hand and it was soaked by the mattress and I smelt my hand and that's when I realized, oh my goodness, she literally peed on my bed. She was a bedwetter. Honestly, I wish I connected the dots, but I didn't and I felt so dumb. But I remember I saw the bed was wet and I woke up, I stood up. And when I stood up, she also woke up and started crying. She started saying things like, oh my goodness, like, I'm so sorry. This is why I didn't want to come over. I was trying to tell you. And I just couldn't be mad. As grossed out as I wasn't upset. I wasn't mad. I wasn't trying to be upset. Because to be honest, she did try to tell me and I wasn't going to blame her for that. But I was really grossed out though. And that was my favorite mattress. But I remember basically what ended up happening is I ended up getting up. I ended up changing the sheets and everything. And just to be safe, I remember I made her sleep on an air mattress that I owned and I ended up going back to my bed. Even though my mattress felt still a little wet, I still decided to pass out on the warm, wet mattress, or I should say damp. It was gross, but at the same time, I wasn't going to make her realize that because she was already embarrassed enough. But you guys thought that was the end of the story? No way. I remember the next morning when I woke up, I ended up waking up and she was gone. She actually left before I even woke up. And when I looked at the mattress, I saw there was also urine or AKA pee on the air mattress. Like, are you joking? What kind of bladder do you have, woman? I remember though when I went upstairs, I saw she left a note on the door basically apologizing and that she was too embarrassed to see my face when she did it again. And I'm not gonna lie, after that point, I decided to cut her off from me and her doing the devil's tango anymore. But anyways, guys, that is basically it for today's story. Make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I always say, just follow for more embarrassing stories. Peace out, guys.